I think we should understand that we're giving everybody a chance to have this done peacefully, something that will achieve all our war objectives without any further bloodshed. But if Hamas rejects your plan, Mr. President, or if they supposedly accept it and then basically do everything to counter it, then Israel will finish the job by itself. This can be done the easy way, or it can be done the hard way, but it will be done. We prefer the easy way, but it has to be done. All these goals must be achieved because we didn't fight this horrible fight, sacrifice the finest of our young men to have Hamas stay in Gaza and threaten us again and again and again with these horrific massacres.
My name is Elijah Schaefer, and sorry for the bad connection. I'm here in El Salvador, in San Salvador, down in Central America, trafficking narcotics and doing my part to spread human trafficking around the world. Just kidding, I'm not part of the Democratic Party, so that's not what we're doing today. I'm actually down here spending time with the government, and I'm learning about how right-wing governments can wield their power and actually accomplish things like the left wing has done with Lula in Brazil and how the Democrats do in the United States. Why is it that when the right wing gets into power, both in the legislative, even the judiciary and the executive, none of our enemies go to jail, none of our cities get safer, nothing happens to improve our welfare, and we continue to send all of our money to Israel? It's pretty annoying. I'm a bit frustrated by it. But joining me remote all the way from the south of Florida, contributor for rifttv.com, Braeden Sorbo, welcome back to the show.
Hey, we're doing a whole remote show today. Wow, why did I get so dark all of a sudden? Is that me? All right, whatever. Anyways, yeah, happy to be here. We're all remote now, so this will be fun.
Yep, and of course, joining us all the way from Canada, you know her, you missed her, Sarah Stock, who I don't know if her last name will be changing soon, but you all know her controversy, getting engaged, how what a terrible thing that was to actually try to live happily ever after. Welcome back to the show. It's good to see you. It's been a while.
Yeah, I'm glad to be back. It's been a little while. I'm not in Canada. Elijah says that every single time. I'm actually in Southern California. But regardless, I'm happy to be here because it's been a while.
Yeah, I know. And there's going to be a little bit of delays. It feels like there's a little bit of delay, but we're all around the world. We're all around the country. I feel like one of those old people who's just like, yeah, but the technology, it also always works. And joining us from Boca Raton, live in the studio, is the one, the only producer of Mendoza Report, Michael Mendoza. It's good to have you back.
Hey, that's me. How's it going? Good to be here. Yeah, first ever like fully remote show. I mean, I guess if I was home, that would kind of complete the whole thing. But yeah, happy to be here, and hopefully we won't have too many network connection issues. But it seems like it's going so well so far. So let's keep at it.
All right, so let's talk about this. Okay, so I put out a rant. I'm so tired of it. You know, we're heading into what's called the Eighth Front War, and I want to talk about this. This is not, you don't have to be anti-Semitic to join the conversation. If you are, even better. No, I'm kidding. We're not promoting anti-Semitism. That's what they're saying we're doing. We're not promoting hatred of Jewish people. We're not even talking about Jewish people. We're actually talking about the Israeli government today, Netanyahu's regime, and a war that he's decided to wage on us. Now, I think this is insane because just a few weeks ago, you know, I had brought on remote right through a video, one of Israel's top propagandists who works for Netanyahu, who basically said that there's going to be this new digital front, this eighth front warfare. They are fighting their battles on 8 fronts now, Israel says, in order to do what? Well, I mean, one can only guess based on the fact that they say what they want, and that is a technocratic, feudalistic, globalist society that takes revenge on the Christian European population as their rabbis state in order to bring Jewish dominance internationally and punish us for the sacking of their temple through the Roman Empire. And that's genuinely what these people want to accomplish as they rebuild the Third Temple and with Sam Altman and Palantir control us all, create AI, create the Antichrist. and declare themselves God. Anyway, that's a very short and simple thing. But let's talk about what's actually going on here. So you saw in that video, Netanyahu says that they're now going to accomplish and defeat their war in whatever means possible. Now, there's a third video right there that I want you to bring up before we talk about this, Mike. It's called Influencers Being Targeted. You can see that there. And basically, in order to start fighting the warfare, Netanyahu realizes that we are missing a key proponent, and that's that they've lost the narrative. They've lost the generation. And so instead of trying to convince people to agree with them, they've decided to buy people out and to spend unlimited amounts of money buying influencers. So pay attention to this. One of those influencers, Emily Austin, was with a group of influencers at the Knesset, I think, in Israel, or that might be here in the United States. I'm actually not entirely sure, since Netanyahu currently is here. I think it actually might be in New York. Talking to him, listen to what he says. This is absolutely diabolical. Play this video, Mike, and I want to talk about this Eighth Front War.
So something I would like to raise, which was actually my first published paper, was how you and the Likud party are cut from the same ideological cloth as Trump and the GOP in America. And so specifically with Charlie Kirk's assassination, who was a big mentor of mine, he's my first mentor in the space, evangelicals, from all my research, evangelicals are the reason that Israel has been supported in public sphere outside of just Jews. So with Charlie's assassination and with the kind of trajectory that we see with like Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson, I guess I'm curious about what's another game plan if we lose evangelical support for the state of Israel. What's our backup plan to be strong, like outside the diaspora?
Christian influencers. Okay. You said, you talked about the woke right, and you said, I call it the woke Reich. That's a brilliant observation. The woke right, because these people, you know, they're not any different from the woke left. I mean, they're insane. They're loonies. But they're actually meeting on some of the things. And what we have to do is we have to secure that part of the base of our support in the United States. That is being challenged systematically. A lot of this is done with money. Money of NGOs, vast. Money of governments, vaster. Okay? We have to fight back. How do we fight back? Our influencers. I think you should also talk to them if you have a chance. To that community, they're very important. And secondly, we're going to have to use the tools of battle. You know, the weapons change over time. You can't fight today with swords. That doesn't work very well. Okay, and you can't fight with cavalry. That doesn't work very well. And you have these new things, you know, like drones, things like that. I won't get into that. But we have to fight with the weapons that apply to the battlefields in which we're engaged. And the most important ones are in social media. And the most important purchase that is going on right now is TikTok. TikTok, number one. And I hope it goes through because it can be consequential. And the other one, what's the other one that's most important? X. That's very good. And, you know, so we have to talk to Elon. He's not an enemy. He's a friend. We should talk to him. Now, if we can get those two things, we get a lot. And I could go on other things, but that's not the point right now. We have to fight the fight, okay? To give direction to the Jewish people and give direction to our non-Jewish friends or those who could be our Jewish our friends. Are we going to succeed with everyone? No. Will there be a strong counterpoint? Yes.
All right. I just want to jump into this. There's so much to break down in that video, but like straight up at the very beginning, he says that, I'm gonna try to get closer to my mic here. He says specifically with Emily Austin, she realized that the only thing keeping Israeli support in the United States are evangelical Christians. And I asked a question on X, do you think that evangelical Christianity is a psyop to take advantage of Christians and support Israel, a state that's working outside of our interests? And even a lot of evangelicals agree that they think it's been co-opted. But I feel like we got to talk about that in our country, right? You have to talk about the fact that we're in an eighth front war where there is a foreign nation trying to prevent our nation from prioritizing its own ideas, its own will, its own infrastructure, and to spend money, trillions of dollars fighting their wars. And the fact that we don't want that, he's declaring us enemies, but then he's also there saying basically what we're going to have to do is make sure that we A, capture evangelical support, keep it, and B, to those that we don't support, we need to censor them and control what information they get to control the narrative. Did I get that wrong? Is that what you saw too, Braeden?
Yeah, that's exactly what he said. I mean, he literally called people who disagreed with the Israel narrative the woke Reich, as if he's comparing, those people to Nazi Germany, which is what everyone, on the left does. That is the playbook. Everyone I don't like is Hitler. But it it's different coming from the prime minister of one of the strongest, because they have our military support, one of the strongest countries in the world. And so it's not, James Lindsay or some other, like middle centrist right influencer calling people who are farther right than him the woke right or whatever. Like, this is literally the prime minister of a country who is calling people enemies of the state. And you know what happens when people are called enemies of the state? Like, they justify violence against you because you become deplorable. You become they dehumanize you so that they can do things to you. And so this whole idea of, well, Elon Musk is our friend, and TikTok, I really hope it goes through. I mean, I just got banned on TikTok, so I don't really care if it goes through or not. 1.9 million followers, cheers. Although TikTok does suck, like genuinely it does. I don't care about that app anymore. So unless Larry wants to, bring me back and be like, hey, Braeden, come on back. Although I highly doubt it, considering he is the largest single donor of the Friends of the IDF, the FIDF, out of any other person. I think he's donated like $40 million to them or something crazy like that as a single person, not counting any contributions made charitably through his companies or anything like that. So there's going to be a slow technological takeover. At least I'm predicting it to be slow. If they can manage to push TikTok through quickly, then they're going to try to push other platforms even more. I mean, Meta's already Mark Zuckerberg. Jeff Bezos owns Amazon and Amazon Prime. And the Washington Post. You already have massive conglomerates which are owned by Israeli influences. So I'm not really, like, is anyone really surprised at this point?
No, but Sarah, I
Yeah,
think
I
it's
mean,
interesting because he brings up. I was like, real fast, go into this, but I want you to say something real fast to the terms of. I know you're Catholic. I know you guys are both Catholic, but he just politicized and admitted something that evangelical Christianity, that Israel has a vested interest in ensuring that the United States remains evangelical and not Catholic and not Orthodox, not because he cares about the salvation of Christians or truth about Christ, so that he can maintain control of his country in our narrative. I want you to say what you're going to say, but I also want you to speak to that too, whether you agree with that, because that's a controversial statement, considering the majority of Americans are evangelical.
yeah, I mean, that's not really surprising at all. I think that's kind of, I guess, common knowledge that the evangelical vote is pretty much the biggest reason why America has supported Israel for so long. But it is interesting when you look into the history of Christians, supporting Christian Zionism, dispensationalism, and all that. It's a very recent thing, and it's like even a lot of Protestants, like the Reformed Church, or I think different types like Presbyterians, Anglicans, they don't even have the same Christian Zionist theology that evangelicals do. It's like a very modern thing. And if you look at like most Protestants and all Catholics and Orthodox, it's like literally the only Christians in all of the world who have this weird thing where they pretend like there's another dispensation, a separate covenant that God has with the Jewish people that it's different than what he has with Christians just because of their ethnicity or whatever. It's like this is literally just pretty much just Christians in America who believe this, and pretty much only the past 100 years. So yeah, there's obviously been a subversive political agenda to spread Christian Zionism among evangelicals. And you'll even notice, I don't know if you guys remember the whole televangelist movement, but a lot of boomers grew up getting their theology from the TV during the 60s and the 70s when Israel needed the most support. And you'll see a lot of the backers of these televangelists like Billy Graham or whatever were Zionists or Jews or whatever. They want to get these specific preachers on the TV, and that's why a lot of boomers believe the things that they do, and a lot of boomer Christians are evangelicals. They got their theology from the TV, not from church or a specific like actual Protestant theology. It's just
Yeah.
like this modern invention.
Well,
Totally
yeah, one of my
politicized.
favorite one of my favorite quotes is from my own confirmation saint, Saint Justin Martyr, where he says, "Do not say the scriptures are yours; they are now ours." And then I pulled up another one from Saint Barnabas that says, "Don't add to your sins by saying that the covenant is both theirs and ours. Yes, it is ours, but they lost it forever." And so even the early Christians recognized that the continuation of the covenant God made to the chosen people of Israel, which for, everyone watching, most of the people watching already know this, but Israel as a word was the name of Jacob. Jacob was just renamed Israel, and Jacob's descendants, through which Jesus came, according along the lineage of, are just the people of God. And so the place itself has no correlation biblically, and it's so interesting watching specifically boomers just lose their minds when you bring this up, because like you said, it's not anti-Semitic, it's not hateful of a group of people to simply point out, hey, this doesn't match up.
Yeah, but here's the thing,
Yeah.
like, well, so to play this video for us here for a second, Mike, of the PragerU video. So a lot of these influencers are being bought out, right? I'm going to have a conversation hopefully soon with Officer Tatum, who we are calling Officer Talmud, or Talmud Tatum. People who met with Netanyahu, switched up their narrative, and are kind of defending the indefensible. And one of the weird switch ups that I've seen is allegedly Alex Jones called me out like 20 to 30 minutes in his show today and called me a Jew hater. I haven't seen it yet. That's what the chat's saying. I would imagine it's probably about my viral video about this topic, talking about how we are legitimately being targeted, harassed, and punished. And everybody knows it. You can't hide it anymore. Okay? It's like you can't hide the fact that if you are not supportive of a foreign nation over your own nation, you will be punished. You will be ostracized. You will be beat down and mocked and ridiculed and pushed into the corner unless you submit to their totalitarian regime. And when you say things in the same sentence, we've got to get control of things here. And you also mentioned there are other ways we can attack this, like with drones. Right? That's a very, very loaded statement as a political leader currently at war. And then you actually call this the eighth front war. So you say, this narrative issue, we've got to get control of it. And then we told everyone, this is the problem. You tell everyone the selling of TikTok has nothing to do with China. Okay? It has nothing to do with it. And what did they tell me? Oh, you're a Chinese propagandist. Oh, you just want our information in China's hands. Well, I'd rather have my information in China's hands than Israel's hands, to be quite honest. I wouldn't like it in either. But at least one country said they want to kill me, and the other country, I don't think they want me to die. I don't think that either country are our allies, and I don't believe that either are to be trusted, and I don't think either of their governments are friendly with us. But I just believe that Israel has a clear interest in destroying any patriotic movement in this country that seeks to restore order. And I don't believe that that's a thought, that's a fact. And I'm surprised Alex, who knows that Israel undermines the United States government, would say that. I don't know if he did, so I don't want to, make any statements. If he did, then we're going to have a problem, because that's, a lot of people have accused him of switching up on Israel. A lot of people have accused, and I have never jumped on that train. I have never jumped on the attack Alex train. I'm not going to jump on it now, because I don't think that that's the right thing to do. I think Alex does a lot of good in the world, and I don't want to repay evil for evil. I hope the information is incorrect, because I don't want to have to start a war on X over that. And we will if we have to, right? We will if we have to. Play this video here of what they couldn't win us, so now they're paying people. And this is the kind of propaganda we're getting now. These are the people that they want us to relate to. We'll talk a little bit about Braeden or whatever that kid's name is. I have no idea, but check this out.
Imagine supporting people who start wars just to lose the wars so they can cry about it and then try it all again.
You must see anti-Semites are literally obsessed with Jews. Now walk with me. While you must see anti-Semites are stacking eviction notices, Jews are out here stacking up businesses.
Jews control all the industries. Maybe if you spent more time taking notes from successful people, you wouldn't have to spend your nights and weekends spreading hate from your anonymous account with an anime profile picture.
Do you work as hard as Jews? Do you network like Jews? No, because you're too busy cheering on a group of musty terrorists who smell like dirty earring backs. And if we're gonna keep it real, you're really mad because your income is giving side hustle.
Period.
How you gonna hate from outside, Shabbat? You can't even get in.
Okay.
Imagine
It's just,
supporting
like, so
people who
funny.
start wars.
It's just so funny because I feel like it's like gaslighting, being like they're not even saying Jews don't control the industry or social media or anything anymore. They're just being like, yeah, and you're poor. It's like, okay, I don't know if it's not really convincing me of anything. Also, you can't really say they're not trying to control American social media companies when their prime minister is literally meeting with our influencers and trying to concoct a plan on saying we need to meet with Elon Musk to crack down on anti-Semitism on Twitter. And also we need to do the same thing on TikTok. And we need to change the algorithms on these apps and also convince American Christians that their religion is wrong in some way. And so they need to support us. Like, you can't really deny this stuff anymore. They're doing it out in the open. So what is it? You're just going to call people broke who call it out?
Yeah, they will actually. And sorry, but the sound modulating. It's because I have really bad upload speed here in El Salvador. So my voice sounds like I have rocks in my mouth. This is what happens every time I'm on these microphones. It like modulates, and I don't know what to do about it. So it just is what it is. But my voice is normal. It just sounds fucked up coming through the airwaves. But I they are going to do that, Sarah. Like, and that's what's crazy. It's like I tell people I just lost one of my largest contracts because of pressure from Jewish people to force someone to end their contract with me. That's all I'm going to say. And I respect the person. They were under a lot of pressure, and I like them a lot. So I'm not going to throw them under the bus because they were under immense pressure and they could have lost their own income too. But it's like you're going to say we're pushing side hustle. I just got told I'm not allowed to make money. We just lost our studio for Rift in DC because of our views on Israel. So actually, it's not that Jews work harder, it's that they work against American idealism, they work against capitalism, they work against meritocracy, they work in tribalism, right? So the very thing people are talking about is, DEI is so bad and things that are going on. These people are working as a tribalistic, group. And not all of them, by the way. Like, there's plenty of Jewish people I know. People have converted to Christianity. They're ethnically Jewish, that are fine individuals. And this is by no means a show that's just to like tear these people down. But when somebody declares war on me, I take it very seriously. And then when people mock me for taking it seriously, that someone declared war, by the way, after a friend and colleague was just murdered, obviously not by them, right? They had nothing to do with it because, well, the FBI, we all trust the FBI, and so we should probably just take the FBI's official narrative on Charlie Kirk's assassination because, well, I can't keep up on which months we're trusting the FBI and which months we want to defund the FBI. I forget. It depends on what narrative we're supposed to accept. But I guess this month we're supposed to trust the FBI, and next month maybe we'll change. But I do believe this. Listen, there is a concerted effort to control people. Now, at some universities, allegedly, you can't even graduate unless you give support to Israel. I know I'm not the only, this is not the only person I've heard of have to take anti-Semitism courses in college. Check out this video we have of a student at Northwestern University. Says that there's 300 students that are actually being kept from registering for their courses they need to graduate if they don't take a class on anti-Semitism. It's becoming to that level to where you have to think the way they think. And again, this is not even about America. This is about a foreign country. Listen to what this guy had to say. It's nice to see if they call him Darren Stock. It's if Sarah Stock was a boy. Here he is. Listen to Darren talk.
My cousin.
So 300 students are being barred from registering for courses at Northwestern University because they refused to take an anti-Semitism course that was just like pro-Israeli propaganda. But it's so crazy that like you're not going to hear anything about this from the Make America Great Again party, the Trump supporters. Like if you don't pledge allegiance to Israel, you're not going to college. Could you imagine if this was like, if you didn't take like a trans rights course or like a trans sensitivity course or something, you would hear nonstop on Fox News, right? We'd hear about this for months.
Well,
I mean,
okay, to be fair,
except
to be fair, I think they kind of are in the realm of low-key making people take like trans rights courses. Maybe not where it's like a specific trans rights course, but like so much of what they teach you in college is just stupid left-wing things, and you have to sort of ascribe to their ideology just to like get a good grade. But yeah, the point he makes still stands.
Yeah, I was about to say that's exactly what I was thinking. I know people who get failed for writing. Like I did college courses online when I was in high school, my senior year, to get some credits because I was originally going to go to college and I didn't. But they put a whole course in one of my English courses, and I was failed for using proper pronouns. So because I said him, he, she, we, or her, the teacher failed me. So sort of agree with him. I mean, obviously, yeah, if it was anything else, if it was another country, if it was like pledge allegiance to Qatar, or is it Qatar? I think it's Qatar. Pledge allegiance to Qatar or to Russia or to China. You have to go take a course on sensitivity to speak about those countries politely. Then yeah, Fox would be up in arms. And there isn't exactly like trans gay frog rights in America or whatever course, but a lot of them are pretty much that.
Yeah, so he's probably a lefty, by the looks of him. He looks like he probably hasn't eaten enough protein in his 21 years of life. But on the other hand, you know, yeah, I've been failed on a paper pretty much for just using the phrase colored people instead of people of color. And ironically, it was a theology class that doesn't make any sense, because Jesus did come to die for the sins of colored people, and they do commit a lot of sins, particularly ones of violence. So that's robbery too. But anyway, it is true. It's all I said. I just said that he died for all of us, for whites, colored people. I just put them into one like category, and apparently that's enough to get failed. So college has always
It's a
been
big
universally
category
a
too.
bit stupid. Yeah, exactly. But it's a bit stupid, right? As the night goes on, and I don't have lighting, I'm becoming a colored person as well. So I think, I think that when we talk about these subjects, what we're talking about is the fabric of America changing, right? And as we speak right now, there are hate speech laws on the desk of Gavin Newsom in California, which I believe were written by Anthony Weiner and some others who, of course, were the ones who tried to lower the statutory RAPE laws for homosexuals so that it decriminalized statutory rape for gays. Do you guys remember that back in a few years ago when it was like, oh, well,
Yep.
if someone's under 25 and you're like 14 or older, I think it was, then it would be
Yep.
misdemeanor, not a felony. Or I think actually it was that you wouldn't register on the offender list so that you could still live a normal life as long as you were gay. So you could
What?
rape kids, but you had to be gay. Yeah, this is a real law in California. It
It had
passed.
to be anally. You
So
couldn't grape someone like
correct.
regular. You had to anally or
Vaginally,
orally
no.
assault
Yes, it was
you
sodomizing. It was
to
it
have
was it was legalized sodomy.
Gonna
done,
make more gay
like, oh well,
people. That's how gay people
that's how it
reproduce. Is
works.
they have to molest teenagers.
Or children. It's true.
Yeah, I was like, we'll just call him like, yeah, but so that was the guy. So they're putting, but it's all based on stopping anti-Semitism. And the chat says that Alex Jones said they're trying to reach out to me. They have my phone number and my emails, and I have not gotten reached out to by them. So I don't think that that's true at all. That anyone has tried to reach out to me, and if they have, then they didn't try to reach out to me on my email or my cell phone or one of my other cell phones or my other emails. So I haven't gotten nothing from their team. And you know what, Alex? I'll come out to Austin. They said he wants me to have me on. I'll come out to Austin. We should talk in person. I would like to talk about it. I like you, Alex. I think you're a fantastic individual. I don't think you stand for anti-Semitism laws. I don't think you stand for forced anti-Semitism classes in schools. But I do believe that the way that I view this issue is the way that the populace are seeing it, and the reason why a lot of us, it's very dumb to talk about. There's a reason why I have side businesses, and I'm starting a whole nother business to fund this rift, is because people do not want us having these conversations. It's even hard to get a pin on Rumble, even though I have an agreement with them when we choose to have these conversations. And it is a very difficult thing to do because, uh, you know, I don't know if you saw, but uh, back in the day, let's see if we can find it here. Uh, Candace Owens, we can go down to that text message from Candace Owens right there. She agrees with me. But the problem is that Candace is a black woman, and she's not liked by these extremist Zionist people, but what they're very much afraid of is a bona fide white male like myself gaining any traction or having any authority, any word. If you're mixed race or you're a female or you're not white, they know that you're not really going to lead any sort of uh, real pro-white, mass movement. But people like Ozpill or like Hugh in the UK, these sort of Caucasian individuals, they're very focused on making sure they don't have a platform, and that the only people who are allowed to talk about these things publicly are like Dave Smith, like Jewish people that can speak for the white identitarians and nationalists, or a black woman. And I love Dave and I love Candace, and this is not a slight on either of them. I'm a huge supporter of them and their platforms. They're wildly more successful than me, and I think they're wildly more talented. So this is not like a comparison chart. It's more just like from inside the industry, they have let me know that they will do whatever they can to keep me from having a platform. They will take my platforms. They will let people break NDAs and slander me in the media. They'll cancel my studios. They'll revoke my press license. They revoked my ability to renew my press license with the Capitol, intentionally like blacklisting me off the board. Anything to keep somebody from the first time that Mark Levin wanted to get me fired from my original job for questioning why CPAC was funded by Zionist organizations, and then individuals in my other organization working with the left-wing media to smear me. It was a wake-up call that there's only one thing that the radical left and right are united on, and that's making sure that they're loyal to Israel, and that anyone who cares more about America than Israel is deplatformed and throttled. Even if you are Jewish and convert to Christianity, having light skin and blue eyes, having a phenotype of whiteness, like us on this panel, their ultimate fear is for the beauty of European ancestry and the pride of the white man to ever become dominant again. And that's what they fear. That's not necessarily what we're doing here at this network or what the goal of this show even is. But I do know that they want to. They're going to make sure that you know, they really want to make sure that if you fail art school, that they shut down your YouTube channel before they find out the hard way what you're going to do other than art school. That's basically what their thought process is. Am I wrong on that, Braden? I feel like that's what they're trying. They're trying to whack-a-mole and make sure they can stop anybody from getting to where they want to be, to make sure that there never is a leader to sort of remove them from power. And that's what they're afraid of. Whether it's peacefully or not, they never want it to happen again. They have a phrase, never again.
Yeah, I don't know how successful that's going to be for them in the long term. I mean, clearly short term, the past 80 years or so, it's been wildly successful. They've had a grip on media and the entertainment industry, the music industry, the political agencies, the different branches of government. Yes, and a lot of people are getting sick and tired of it. And so it's sort of one of those things. You remember the scene from Lord of the Rings where it's like, I never thought I'd be fighting side by side with an elf or whatever. And the guy goes, what about, I don't remember the exact phrase, but it's like, well, somebody who also wants the end of the same cause. I think a lot of people are coming to that conclusion where it's like, I wouldn't necessarily agree with these individuals on certain things, or wouldn't even see myself as an acquaintance of them. But we do want to see the same enemy fall, essentially. And I say fall is in the sense of obviously no condoning violence or anything of that nature, but in the sense of wanting just basic freedoms, wanting that American dream that we were sold growing up as kids, that I got to witness, that I was told stories about, that my grandparents and parents all grew up with. My dad was in a town of like 5,000 people. You could leave your car doors unlocked. You could leave your front door open and nothing bad ever happened. There was no crime in that city. And it's like, that is what a lot of people want. They just want a nice, quaint little American dream town where you can just raise a family. That's what most of the people, at least in Gen Z, are looking for, that I've spoken to on the right. Obviously, those on the left, we've seen the polling. They don't want families. They want a boss babe all over the place and, girl boss and all that stuff. But people on the right just want simple lives, which is to have a family and to not have to deal with these annoying individuals. And so there's only so much they can do and so long they can hold people down before people finally start to go, okay, we're done here. Enough is enough.
Yeah, I was gonna make the point how you said they don't want specifically like white Christian men gaining power. Well, they have been able to stop that through DEI. If you just think about the fact that white men have basically been gate kept out of higher education and also have been removed from just like most companies, like when it comes to leadership, trying to get rid of white men in leadership. Because really, when you hear DI, it's like supposed to be about, more diversity, diversity of opinions, all these different types of people. In reality, it has literally always just meant like less white men. That's all that means, is like white men in the country need to have less power as a collective. And that's what's been happening. I mean, this is like the video, the interview I did with Doomer Nat on my YouTube channel recently. It's like we went through all the statistics, and it's just like crazy when you look at how much space white men take up in higher education versus in proportion to how many there are in society. And you realize it's like if you're gatekeeping like more than half of eligible people because they're a white man, it's like you are literally just taking power from white men, away from white men as a group. And they've been doing this consistently over like 50 years. So it's kind of like exponential too, because then, you're not able to pass on opportunities to your children either. So it has been like this long, gradual push to not allow white men to have any real power in our institutions and everything. And the crazy thing is they're so capable that they still kind of have made it through, and they still do lead businesses and that sort of thing. But it is a lot more difficult now.
Yeah, it's so like, and I agree with you on that. So I want to look at something here. When we're talking about this, it's it's basically a suicidal path to be taking this ideology. But I know that it's correct. I know that it's true, and I know that what we're talking about is realistic. And I just sometimes doubt like whether it's even worth it to try to do what we're trying to do here, because people don't want it, right? So I've always said this: we're providing a product that people don't want. People don't want reasonable people with sound logic getting together and presenting the truth. They want narratives that make the world make more sense, when actually the world is complete chaos. It's disgusting, it's broken, and it's never going to make any sense. It's like people want the narrative about Charlie Kirk to be true because the world is easier when you look at it through the dichotomy of left versus right. When you just have Charlie, who's a right leaning guy, and then you have Tyler Robinson, a left leaning guy, murder him, then it's about good versus evil, left versus right, and we can all sleep at night knowing that we're fighting leftism. But when you realize that the left and the right are both controlled by Zionist occupiers, and that these institutions will not be reformed by getting Republicans into office, as we can see right now, we're not any more safe. Our cities aren't any more cleaned up. We see the hypocrisy of, Trump saying, ICE can do whatever they want. And then the first time an ICE officer pushes someone, he gets dismissed. And yeah, someone told me he got reinstated, but, they dismissed him before the review. Like the system is still corrupted. Yeah, it's not all bad. We did stop, border crossings, but safety is an illusion. And we're not doing anything to the tech companies. Even the lawsuit against YouTube is like fake, like Trump's lawsuit. He wins his lawsuit against YouTube. They're giving him $24.5 million for censoring him, but the money's really being donated to build a new ballroom at the White House. And it's really about Alphabet gaining some composure by building a legacy, building that only affects the elite, doesn't do anything for us. Having a ballroom at the White House is like this bourgeois sort of bullshit. And I think the reason why a lot of people are seeing this, like they're calling it the horseshoe theory, but it's really not, is that the populists on the left and the right have diagnosed the same problems. Our country can't be solved through the system, right? You're going to have to burn down the system. And I say that figuratively as a safety valve here, figuratively burn down the system. You'll have to act to destroy it. And so you will see a lot of radicalism from the left right now. You're going to see left-wing terrorism. You're going to see a lot of CIA opportunities and crazy leftists killing people. There's going to be a lot more murders, a lot more assassinations, a lot more death. But who does that benefit? Well, when the fight is between the left and the right, it allows your real occupiers, who you can't criticize, to gain power. There are not laws coming into place that you can't criticize Democrats. There are not courses that you're taking in order to, not, hate the left, right? People could say, yeah, there's like pro LGBTQ stuff and whatever, but to be completely honest, the Republican Party in some ways is gayer than the Democratic Party. So, the hot spot for Grindr is the RNC in the entire year. The most densely used of the app is in the RNC. Why do you think that I go every year? So it's like when you talk about Braden's like laughing, but Braden was there with me. But the deal is
hey
like
man, we just threw a bag on. No, like nobody knew.
oh man, yeah, the RNC is a good time. It's not gay if it's at the RNC, they say.
That's what they
no,
say.
but jokes aside, it is interesting because David Hogg posted. Let me see if we can get this right here. Influencer doing the influencer thing. AIPAC is not an Israeli organization. Can you click on that for a second? They're just lying to us and gaslighting us at every corner. And I'm just wondering, does this only end where you put a gun in your mouth and you end your life, which I will never do, or do they do it and put a bullet in your neck? That's kind of what I'm black pilled about, because it seems like people don't want anyone trying to do anything about this. They want talking heads to sit around and yap about like idealistic ways to deal with this, who won't work with people. And then the people that will work with people, they want them to remain Zionists. And there's really no middle ground of people who know how to work with people, but also want to achieve the same goals of the of the dissident right. I don't know what you guys think, but I feel like people don't want this country to be fixed. They don't want the problems to be solved. The lies are too thick, the money's too deep, and it doesn't matter what the people want. They're gonna enjoy their parties, they're gonna build their ballrooms, and they're gonna fucking put their cigarettes out on you and treat you like an ashtray.
It's such a shame. Like, I feel so bad because you're literally on like a beach vacation and you're black pilled a little bit right now. Like, I get it. Don't get me wrong. I understand. But it sucks that that's where we're at, where it's like you could go to a beautiful country, well, now beautiful because of Bukele, like El Salvador, and get to go experience all these cool things, which I want to go on one of those trips eventually. And it's still like, man, you're going to be coming back home to what you wish America really became, like when you're there in El Salvador. So it's sort of like, I don't know. It's all these, unfortunately, we're just going to have to wait till all the boomers go because of old age, because they're the ones really holding all of the wealth and collectively taking everything. And so, yeah, Trump's going to build his gold ballroom and all of the X accounts are going to be like, wow, I got what I voted for. And meanwhile, I'm sitting here like, man, I just had to spend literally, I took my truck into the shop yesterday because I thought my alignment was off, and that's why it was making some noise. It was rattling a little bit anytime I went over 40 miles an hour. And the mechanic calls me, and I know he's a good guy. He's a Christian guy. He likes my social media stuff. He likes my family. So he calls me up and he goes, hey, man, I have bad news. Your ball joints are shot. Your front steering is off. Like the drag link is gone. You're going to have to replace a lot of the front. And so I'm going to have to spend over $2,000 fixing my truck. There goes a large portion of what I make. And it's like, man, how am I supposed to, when I have repairs like that, plan to afford a family or a house or anything? So I get the black pill, and it sucks because there's so many people who are in that same situation as me who are even worse off, where it's like, man, you just spent like $2,500 on your truck to fix it because otherwise if you hit a pothole, you're going to crash and die in an explosion. I just had to spend, this much on a mold that they found in my apartment or whatever. And it's like, I get it. It's a terrible situation that we live in. And so unfortunately, I think not the only, but the most likely outcome is going to be a lot of these boomers are going to have to pass on, and they're going to give, a lot of them are going to give a lot of their wealth away. I don't see it staying in their families. I mean, we have so many families time and time again where the grandparents die and they sell the property, and because they want to, right before they die, they want to go on all these lavish vacations. So they sell the piece of land that's been in their family for generations. And so there is no kind of procurement of goods, this idea of passing things on to your kids anymore, that boomers kind of said, no, you know what? I'm just going to hoard it all for myself, because they were raised on the media. Like what Sarah was talking about. They were told, do these things, support these businesses, support these countries, and then your life will be good. And that's your American dream. And so they got it, and then they kept it for themselves because they were raised to be selfish.
Yeah, I was gonna say, real fast. I want to talk about something I thought was weird today. Did you guys see the Secret Service car? Can we pull it up, Mike? The Secret Service car that blew up and caught fire. They said that the back seat spontaneously combusted in front of the White House as Netanyahu was about to visit. I'm not entirely sure what people think about that because I know it's quite common for cars to combust, especially newer vehicles that are very expensive in the summer. That happens to me every summer. Usually my cars just catch on fire, especially ones that are several $100,000 and especially modded. It's I hate when my
Mhm.
seat catches on fire is what I'm trying to say, and I'm just sorry it happened to the great men who serve our country. But that happened. Now, obviously, everybody knows several years ago there was the same thing happened to where several cars combusted naturally after Biden was done using them. The Secret Service, they were Secret Service cars as well. Biden disappeared for a while, I think in Pennsylvania somewhere, and then the cars all caught on fire and melted down. And they said they couldn't.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh no,
Well,
Mike.
okay, all right,
We're having
yeah.
our first main technical difficulty of the night.
He
This
got the
is
call. Yeah, he got the call.
This
Okay.
his car is currently on fire.
Yeah, all right. Well, he's still frozen on mine, so he's gonna have to well, okay. Actually, let me put
I think
myself.
this is the time. This is the time, Braden. We got to bring up Brylan.
Oh, there you go. He's back.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh no, we
We're
lost
back.
your opportunity.
It said I got kicked. It said I got kicked. It said I got kicked by the host. I don't know
Nope.
what that was. It said I got kicked by the
That's
host.
crazy.
Is it maybe Mike's in on it? We will go
Yeah.
to Brylan. That'll be the last topic we'll talk about. But I don't know if you guys, what do you guys think about the the combustion of the car? Everyone's kind of talking about. I honestly do think cars just catch on fire, and I do think it's weird that Secret Service cars seem to catch on fire at significant times, right? It's not that it randomly caught on fire, just like right as Netanyahu's visiting, it blows up in front of the White House. It does seem like a bit of odd timing.
Yeah,
Well, no, you
it's
don't
kind of
understand.
remind me of the pager thing. It's like maybe there's just bombs planted in our government cars or something. I'm not sure, but it is definitely something that happens. I had a friend who had a Jeep, and she was just like I think she was doing burnouts on a field, and it just like blew up. Thankfully, she ran out before, but her car just blew up. So it does happen.
Braden, you were gonna
What?
speak. I'm giving you a chance to speak.
I don't remember what I was going to say. Sarah said everything.
Sarah, you were gonna say that you had a friend who had a Jeep who randomly exploded. All right, we need to bring up this kid. We need to bring up some things about this kid and some interesting stories here. So, I think we live in a very interesting world where we don't really know what's true and what's not. Just a reminder that Sarah and I are speaking at Ole Miss, Mississippi University, at on Thursday at 7 p.m. You can find the flyer on my page. You can find the flyer on her page probably. We'll be speaking there at 7 o'clock. I don't know how many people are going to show up. Maybe 10 people are going to show up, maybe 30 people, maybe 50 people. I'm not entirely sure, but we are going to be speaking there. And to somebody in the comments that was like, because we're going to talk about this. Why are you grifting off of Charlie's name? First of all, fuck you. This is a living memorial. This is a way to honor him. I don't really have time to go speak at schools right now. I don't think Sarah does either. And we're not charging the schools. We're funding it completely ourselves. We're not making any money. We're not charging tickets. It's actually a huge investment. And I think it's the right thing to do, to go do what Charlie did best, and that was to go reach out to college students and give them love. And from the heart of a mentor and somebody who wants to pour into you, I feel like that's the wisest thing we could do. And I feel like there's so much I'd like to say, so much I'd like to pour out my heart to these kids. I want to hear what they have to say, right? I think we'll probably in the Q&A ask them, like if anyone has ways that Charlie affected their life, anything they want to bring up or in fears they have for the future, and try to answer some questions, but make sure that you check it out there. I don't know if we have any videos here, but there's this kid that people think popped up out of nowhere, but his dad paid me to say that I've known about him for a very long time. No, I've actually known about him for a while. I've seen him around. He's always sort of had this polished, um, kid nepo baby sort of vibe, somebody who's like a boomer's wet dream, like it's like when a black person goes on to Fox and a 65-year-old woman's like, see, those blacks aren't all evil, and you're like, okay, that's probably not good trajectory here to just like astroturf blacks so that we can make boomers think that blacks actually agree with us when they're like ideologically, culturally opposed to pretty much everything of Western civilization, except for the minority. And then they do what they do in sports. They showcase a minority. Same thing with teenagers. It's like Gen Z or sort of this kid has sort of been propped up as a way to ensure to boomers that Gen Z are all Zionist, Lindsey Graham sort of copycats, right? That's sort of what he's been for a while now. It's been a few years, actually. He's been around. I've known about him for quite a while. I've never paid much attention to him. Didn't realize he followed me. I don't think he's happy he follows me because he probably has a social media team running his account who will probably unfollow me shortly. Check out this video real fast. You're very down to earth, connecting with the average 17-year-old out there in a $10 million jet and a $35,000 watch, on his way to a sold-out concert after appearing on Ben Shapiro like every other kid trying to make it in the industry. Check this out.
What's up, America? Rylan Holly Hint here, about 30,000 feet up. We are on the way to Arkansas. So everybody in line at the University of Arkansas to kick off my 10-stop campus tour. We are coming to you right here, right now. Stay in line. We have gotten a third room because we've sold out this campus stop 3 times. But we are coming to you. We will fit you in. Students will get priority, but we will make it happen. I cannot be more excited. We are back. We are on the road. We're coming to you one conversation at a time. If you're not at the University of Arkansas, we're coming to a campus near you soon, so check out my tour dates. We'll see you super soon.
Everything about that kid is manicured. Everything about him is like super well manicured. He looks like he's AI generated. That's so like, okay. We were talking about it this earlier before the show started. Charlie Kirk had money. He was flying private 100%, but I didn't ever see posts from him like bragging about it. I didn't see him flexing it or anything like that. So in terms of optics, this was a terrible move. This was absolutely awful. Oh man.
Yeah.
Even just the Charlie Kirk. I mean, Charlie Kirk sort of built himself up from the ground up. He was 18 when he started, but he didn't start when he was 18 going on campus speaking tours. You know what I mean? He started like literally knocking doors, running an organization out of his garage. And yeah, so it is a little bit different in that way too.
Hey, listen, like the amount of people. So, okay, I guess people thought that this kid appeared out of nowhere. Like they don't know that he's been around. He's been at Turning Point. Like I've seen him. I've met him before. Okay,
Yeah.
I know who this kid
Okay,
is.
well,
I
it's
just,
like he came out. When people are saying he came out of nowhere, that doesn't mean that like he literally just created a social media presence. But it's like he had like no views or anything. Like literally no views at all, and then suddenly it's like, oh, I'm speaking at every university, and I'm on Ben Shapiro, and there's articles about me. Like that's clearly astroturfing.
Yeah, but it's like people don't realize it's not astroturfing because he's not being promoted by an organization. His dad is like one of the wealthiest.
Yes, he
GOP
is. What
donors.
is the Daily
He's a
Wire
nepo
not
baby.
an organization?
They're paying for his dad's paying. It's called nepotism. And
Yes,
his
that's
dad is paying for his
astroturf.
son.
Yes,
No, an
his
astroturf
dad
would be
is
when
astroturfing him.
No. That's just nepotism.
Yes.
Astroturfing is like when a company or an organization pushes you forward in order to make you the face of that organization. He's a typical GOP nepo baby whose dad is. It's like Trump Jr. Like Trump Jr. isn't astroturf. Trump Jr. is just a nepo baby of his dad who just spends money and got him on everything and pushed him. Ivanka Trump is an astroturf in the fashion industry. She's just a nepo baby. His dad's able to pay for opportunities for her. She doesn't have to get a job as a model. She pays to be a model. So it's like I think I was laughing because it's like people just found out what the GOP is on X. Like they've been on like they don't not watch Newsmax or Fox. This kid is on all the time. It's like this is literally what Turning Point is. This is what the GOP is. They just take rich people and then they just pay to go on shit. Do you know that people pay to go on Fox and they pay to go on Newsmax? All these contributors are paying them to be on. So the way the GOP works is that rich people pay for interviews and to put themselves out there. And this kid is just like a rich kid. I'm not defending him. What I think is funny is like what I was nervous was going to happen, and what is happening is the GOP is looking for a martyr, and they're looking for someone to dump money into. You guys just made this kid a GOP icon. He's gonna be so famous in the GOP. They're gonna have him speak at the RNC. He's gonna be the youth outreach coordinator, all because everyone couldn't just ignore him. Like, I would just ignored the kid. No one's gonna buy his fucking message. He's got some like buttoned up bullshit, like Israel, like generic fucking insufferable, like just like yeah, made in a lab personality. And I'm just like, hey, maybe we should just ignore this kid, offer him some advice, like, hey kid, you know, everyone's gonna fucking hate you, and just like maybe try not to be such a like a prick about your views, and like maybe like be real and like down to earth. But then everyone now is just kind of like, I swear to God, on my life, the GOP is going to embrace this kid more than anything, more than life itself, because people couldn't just ignore him. It's like we made a right wing Harry Sisson. In my opinion, we just made a Harry Sisson, and look at Harry Sisson. We just have to deal with that motherfucker every day. It's like, dude, we still have to deal with him. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
actually,
You can disagree with me, but it's like we just made
gosh,
him. We just made him famous.
I don't disagree at all. That was so, oh man, that's so bad. Now I have to call my dad and be like, Dad, why didn't we get to fly private or go to speaking events? Or why didn't I get to get paid to go? Or why didn't we just pay to put me on Fox and Newsmax? I could be the GOP spokesperson. Like, damn, I'm sitting here going, man, I spent all this time writing books and trying to book myself on interviews and everything for nothing to happen. And we could have just paid for it? That's crazy.
They paid for it, and dude, they paid for it. He's not on. They pay like. Do you understand? Do you understand? Like all these like random interviews, like podcasters getting like Jordan Peterson on. They're also paying Jordan Peterson to come on their podcast. I actually got put in a chat leak. Oh my gosh! Like, okay, this kid is fucking a dweeb. Like, I'm not defending him. Everyone thinks I'm defending him. It's like I just don't want another Harry Sisson. I don't want a fucking another like. I don't want one of these kids to be able to use the hate to become something ignoramus, something big. And I know how the GOP works. I've been involved in it for a long time, and just know that this kid is just like they've been looking for this kid. Do you know, like, have you seen the people that Turning Point still puts in our faces to this day? Like, they have to pay for the views, they have to promote them. They'll start like 20 different podcasts with them until they find out like how they can get views. The way the GOP works is they choose their people, and then they try everything. They shoot it out the gun and spend all this money until they force them down your throat. Until this kid will get a show on Fox News Watch. Until this kid gets a contributorship on Newsmax. Now you're just forced to accept him because now he's just there. And if you just ignored him, he would have gone away and no one would have cared. But now we have to fucking talk about him on the show because everybody wanted to make him famous. Like, Sarah, you hate him, though, right?
Hate him as a person, but no, I think the reason people are calling it out is because it's like an inorganic push from the GOP, from the Daily Wire, these news agencies, because yes, obviously his dad's rich and he's paying for this. People know that. That's literally what people are just calling it out so that Gen Z kids don't fall for this and be like, oh, this is the new famous guy. It's like, no, this is totally fake and contrived. This kid has no credibility and you don't have to listen to anything he says. And the difference between that and Harry Sisson is Harry Sisson has fans on the left. Yeah, he's hated on the right, no shit. But this kid is not going to have any fans on the left or the right because people called him out so quickly. And it even got to the point where he literally shut off the Q&A section. I don't know if you guys just saw this, but he shut down the Q&A section of his next speech because he doesn't want anyone calling him out. So it's working, right? And he's just losing credibility already within like 24 hours.
Did he shut
That's
it down?
crazy. I think you could judge.
Yeah,
you could judge someone's credibility by their willingness to take questions from other people. You know what we should do? We should have him on the Rift, and then we can get him radicalized, and then all he needs is like an anime profile photo, and he'll be set.
Do you guys, hey,
True.
Mike? Can you bring up that person though? Like, listen, people are ridiculous. Somebody thinks that I was involved in the murder of Charlie Kirk, that I was there that day, and they've like done an investigation apparently, and like have found out that one of the people there is me. So people like are listen. People do have weird accusations and weird things uh, that I find to be somewhat hilarious, but like to me, like, did you see how many people got this kid's back? There's like 20 of these kids that exist in our space, and they're all waiting for their opportunity to sort of come in and, like, you know, uh, like, look, some people want to peg this guy, I guess. Obviously, I mean peg him with like accusations, and
No, they just want to
whatever.
peg him.
Well, oh, maybe he wants to be pegged. I have no idea, right? That's not my. I don't get involved in people's personal lives. I don't kink shame. But look at this. Wait, wait. What did that tweet? What did that tweet say? Amazing research right down there. Wait, yeah. Here's the sunglass man that everybody misses. They live in truth. They've tagged the news. And wait, what is it? Amazing research, Ben. As always, I've done some digging, and it seems that the man in sunglasses is Elijah Schaffer, the commentator, host of Slightly Offensive on Blaze Media. I believe he's a Jew Zionist. Look at him with Alex Jones and the Israeli flag on his kids' faces. Watch now go down. They got even more. They got even more. Go down. Yeah.
I'm gonna
Thank
do
you,
that now for
Ben.
my kids. Anytime I post a photo of them, I'm gonna put the Jewish flag
With
over their
Israeli
face.
flags. What I read that Elijah Schaffer has a history of joint appearances with Charlie Kirk at TPUSA events, podcasts, and panels. Sometimes his hair may look darker in certain photos depending on the lighting. Here, for example, Elijah hair looks darker.
Why is that
Like,
even important?
Your hair looks
What?
darker. Elijah
What
is
does
a
that
Jew
have to do with
Zionist
a
spy
conspiracy
confirmed.
theory?
I don't know. I don't know. I just find it to be funny. Like I just find it the internet's funny. Look, we don't need to talk about this that much. Look, I agree with you. Go make this kid's life as hard as you want. But like with Harry Sisson, I tried to ignore him in the beginning because I'm like, I knew the hate. It's like the hate will fuel me. I just knew that like he fuels off of hate clicks. Him and that other what's the other homosexual kid that is balding as well. And I'm
Dean?
fixing my balding.
Dean
Yeah,
Withers?
yeah, yeah. That's dude.
Oh
I
yeah.
started balding at like 31, which is like normal, as a guy to start like hair thinning and like balding. It's like 31, whatever. You have kids, you're married, you're like established. But you're balding like 18. That's unfortunate. This could be like a diet issue. He's a very thin kid too, so he's
Well, it's diet
I
and
like when
stress
but
and
do you
low
see when do you know
IQ.
what I love is when do you know when thin kids like Dean when they're like thin and there was always these kids in high school they'd be like I have a six pack but they just like look malnourished and you're like that's not being that you're low body fat percentage you're not strong like
No,
you're
that
tiny.
me so mad. That makes me so mad. That's like when fat girls go like, I have boobs. No, you don't. My car isn't fast because it's falling off of a cliff. Skinny and having abs it's not the same thing. It makes me so mad because I'm bulking. I still have 2 abs visible right now and I work damn hard for them. So when these skinny little twinks who freaking they're skinnier than the vape pen that they have are like, look at me, I'm shredded, I have abs. No, you're malnourished. You don't need TRT. You're not even on food. Like, go eat something, please.
Yeah, someone also said, I love opening the stream and seeing it's 3 white people. Holy shit. Yeah, it's crazy. The right wing is just the most diverse movement in all of history. And it's not a bad thing per se now that people are getting on board. But yeah, I'm really the utter state of the white race these days has been really unfortunately very, very saddening to me. And, you know, like I'm still under the persuasion, I don't really consider some Eastern European countries to be white, but there are white people in Eastern European countries. There are like different racial categories, and like same with Italy. Like obviously, like Northern Italians I consider to be white, Southern Italians I don't consider, and like some Greeks are, and some Greeks obviously are like have intertwined with the Arabs during invasions and are more Turkish than they are Greek. So I mean, like yeah, there's some more like Arab type Eastern Europeans, but then there are Caucasoid like actual white Eastern Europeans. So you can't really go by country, you have to kind of go by ethnic background. But it is true, we do live in a dwindling. There are less white people on the entire earth than there are Indians just in India, and that'll scare me forever, and it should scare you too. And Indians don't even like India, that they're all trying to get out. That's just true. Indians don't like India. I saw a guy go onto a bus in Brampton in Canada, and I counted 31 people, and he was the only white guy on the entire bus. 31 people on a public bus in Canada, and the only Caucasian
That's
person.
happened to me
It is
before.
really
It's happened to me too, yeah. Unironically.
in Brampton.
Well, not in Brampton, but in Ontario, yeah.
Yeah, it's
We're not gonna get more
it
of the
is.
story.
Yeah, I was like
There's
waiting
no,
for you.
there's
To
no
This was
more
like,
to the
where's we
story
gonna
that
go with something
happened.
with this? Like,
Yeah. No, that's how it is.
Yeah,
It's
it
not
happened to
just in
me.
Brampton. It's like it's other places in Ontario too.
Yeah, my mom was murdered too.
Yep.
yep, same.
So all right, what was the story?
That was
Yeah, anticlimactic. Jeez.
all right.
All right, reading a couple super chats here. We'll jump off here in just a second. Read a couple super chats. Randall Flag said, "There's somebody named Emily. Emily Saves Israel. Is a prediction will get knocked up by accident in a synagogue storage closet and end up killing the baby, and it'll be made public and ruin her. And Sarah will be vindicated. Typical thought L. Okay.
What?
Also, Bloodshot 567 also said, "Where the hell is Anna?" Wanting to know, for those that are in the chat. For those of you guys, I just have a very little. I got to figure out if I come out here again. I probably have to bring a. I'm going to probably bring a Starlink or something out here because it's just atrocious internet. Although I love this place so much, and obviously the jokes at the beginning, obviously not, being involved in any of that crazy stuff. But I do appreciate you guys supporting. Remember, if you want to support the show, typically we have extra segments, but the internet's so bad, I'm not going to try to do an extra segment now because it's just horrible. And I can see I'm running out of data right now. So click the link below, join on Locals, ElijahSchaefer.locals.com. I didn't even do any ads today because I just didn't even know if we would, I'll do it when I get back on Wednesday. We have some new advertisers that are starting anyway. So we're at the end of the third quarter, starting fourth quarter. Make sure that you share this show with everybody. Make sure that you follow us where you can. And then Sarah, where can people find you and follow you?
Yeah, if you wanted to follow me, you can just find me on my socials. It's just Sarah C. Stock on both X and on Instagram. And subscribe to my YouTube channel. I have some stuff recorded. I just need to edit and then I'll drop it very soon. And yeah, my YouTube channel is just same thing. My name, Sarah Stock.
Braeden.
You can go to @Braeden Sorbo on any and all social media platforms. Go to my X. I have a lot of gays in my comment section right now, and I don't like it. I need people to go bully them out. Like, please. I posted something about the gym today, and they're like, "You are that kind of masculine guy." If I commented my gym post and then also said, "But I like black people" at the end of it, they would champion me. They'd pedestal me. They're like, "Wow, look at this leftist masculine king." So please just bully them for me. I mean, it's not enough.
Yes, it's not enough. And remember, stay going to the gym, people. Stay going to the gym. I've been in the gym in like a week, but like it's still, I just you lose your pump, after a while, and it's kind of sad because I don't think people out here really go to the gym. But push-ups do keep the mass. So make sure you do push-ups tonight. Try to do 100 push-ups a day if you can when you're not going to the gym to have fun. Eat your papusas, but remember, I'm talking about the food. Don't eat the American kind. Eat the El Salvadoran kind. They're very good, by the way. Con frijoles y queso. I've really been enjoying. I'm going out to dinner tonight with Herbert Eschmann, who's been liaisoning and sort of working as a sort of a deputy here of foreign relations, helping me understand right-wing power. You also find Mike Mendoza at Mike Mendoza JPG. It's been fantastic. For the rest of you guys watching, have a great rest of the week. As always, shout out to those in the chat. Let me see if I can even get Locals started here. I was having a hard time even connecting. Oh, I can get started here. So shout out to those who are in the local chat, including Real Dandy Andy, Ing Anders 7, Doomsday Cracker, the rest of you guys. It's kind of like not loading. Saint J, and the rest of you guys around. And while we were on the phone, I did get a call from a random Texas number, so from Austin, Texas. So maybe that was Alex's team. And if I don't, I'm just surprised that Alex. I think Alex is just a great person. I know him personally. I really like him, but also he could be a little bit mad because of sort of like allied with Owen, you know. But I'm allying with Alex too. Like I'm not on like somebody's team. I like them both, and I wish them both the most of success. You know, we're only about 7 days away from Owen Schroyer's show relaunching. To the rest of you guys watching, have a great rest of the week. As always, shout out to my guests today, Sarah Stock and Braeden Sorbo. Have a great rest of the week. God bless the United States of America.